I asked a Toyota engineer in Japan why their cars hit 300,000 miles while others die at 100,000. His answer? We don't build better cars, we just maintain them correctly. Your dealers are teaching you wrong on purpose. That sent me on a journey through Japanese repair shops, and what I found was 12 secrets that explain everything. Some will make you angry when you realize how much money you've wasted. Hit subscribe because this could save you thousands. Let's dive into secret number 1. Secret number 1, oil analysis, instead of arbitrary intervals. Here's what your quick lube place wants you to believe. Change your oil every 3,000 miles or your engine will explode. They've got the stickers, the warnings, the fear tactics. And for decades, we believed them. But when I sat down with a Toyota engineer in Nagoya, he showed me something interesting. He pulled up maintenance data from Japanese taxi fleets. Cars running 24/7 in brutal city conditions. These vehicles were going 8,000 to 10,000 miles between oil changes using synthetic oil. And their engines? Lasting well past 400,000 miles with minimal wear. The secret wasn't magic oil, it was lab analysis. Instead of guessing when oil needs changing, these fleet managers were sending samples to labs like Blackstone Laboratories every few months. For about $30, they'd get a full report showing total base number, wear metals, viscosity breakdown, and contamination levels. The data told them exactly when the oil actually needed changing, not when some arbitrary mileage number said so. A mechanic in Osaka explained it to me this way. Your oil doesn't know what your odometer says, it only knows how hard you've driven, what temperatures it's endured, and how contaminated it's become. Why would you change perfectly good oil just because you hit a number? He had a point. Modern synthetic oils in well-maintained engines can easily handle 7,000 to 10,000 miles. But nobody makes money telling you that. The quick lube industry is built on the 3,000-mile myth, and they're not about to kill their golden goose. Here's what the Japanese actually do. They run synthetic oil and send a sample to analysis around 10,000 miles. If the TBN is still strong and where metals are low, they know they can safely extend. Over time, they dial in the perfect interval for their specific driving conditions. One Camry owner I met had established through testing that his highway-driven car could go 12,000 miles. A delivery driver with constant city stops changed at 6,000. Both were right for their situations. Let's run the numbers. Suppose you normally change oil every 4,000 miles at $80 per service. If analysis shows you can safely go 8,000 miles, you've just cut your oil changes in half. Over 200,000 miles, that's saving you over $1,000 while actually protecting your engine better through data-driven decisions. This works whether you drive a Toyota Camry 2.5L, Honda Accord 1.5T, Ford EcoBoost 2.0, or Chevy 5.3L V8. But if that revelation surprised you, wait until you hear secret number 2. This one involves a lie that transmission shops and dealers have been telling for years. Secret number 2, the lifetime fluid lie that destroys transmissions. I'll never forget the conversation I had with a Nissan technician in Tokyo. We were standing next to a CVT transmission that had just been pulled from a failed Altima. The car had 90,000 miles. The owner had never changed the fluid because the dealer told him it was lifetime, never needs service. The tech pointed at the dark, burnt fluid draining out. You see this? This is what lifetime looks like. It means the lifetime of the warranty, not the lifetime of the car. Once you're past 60,000 miles, they don't care what happens. He wasn't being cynical, he was being honest. Manufacturers push lifetime fluids because it reduces warranty period maintenance costs and makes their ownership costs look attractive on paper. But the engineering reality, transmission fluid breaks down from heat, friction, and contamination. Always has, always will. Here's what really shocked me. I found Nissan's own internal service bulletins recommending CVT fluid changes every 30,000 to 60,000 miles for severe service driving. And when I asked what qualified as severe service, the list included city driving, hot weather, mountains, and towing. That's basically how everyone actually drives. A transmission shop owner in Yokohama showed me his failure rate data. CVTs with regular fluid changes were lasting 150,000 plus miles. Lifetime fluid units were failing between 80,000 and 120,000 miles like clockwork. The Japanese approach is straightforward. They identify their transmission type, CVT, 6-speed, 8-speed, 10-speed automatic, then find the correct OEM fluid specification. For Nissan CVTs, that's NS3. Toyota and Lexus use Toyota WS for their ASIN units. BMW uses specific fluid for ZF transmissions. They don't mess around with universal or compatible fluids. Then they schedule drain and fill services every 50,000 to 70,000 miles for normal driving, or every 30,000 to 50,000 miles if they drive hard. Compare the costs. A proper transmission fluid service runs $150 to $200. A transmission replacement, you're looking at $3,000 to $8,000 depending on the vehicle. A shop owner told me, "I can replace your fluid 5 times for what one transmission rebuild costs," which sounds smarter. This applies whether you drive a Nissan Altima CVT, Toyota RAV4 with an 8-speed, BMW with the ZF8 HP, or Hyundai and Kia 8-speed automatics. And that's just the beginning. Secret number 3 tackles another fluid that dealerships conveniently forget to mention. Secret number 3. Coolant chemistry matters more than you think. A Honda service manager in Tokyo told me something that made me laugh and get angry at the same time. Americans love mixing coolants. Green, pink, orange, yellow. They treat it like paint colors. Close. Enough, they say. Then they wonder why their water pump failed at 80,000 miles. Here's what most people don't understand. Coolant isn't just colored water with antifreeze. It's a precisely engineered chemical package designed to protect specific metals in your cooling system. Toyota specifies super long life coolant, that pink fluid, because their engines use specific aluminum alloys that require particular corrosion inhibitors. BMW uses blue or orange depending on the model for the same reason. GM developed DexCool because their engines needed different protection. When you mix these formulas or use universal coolant, you're creating a chemical soup that doesn't protect anything properly. The corrosion inhibitors interfere with each other. Deposits form, rubber hoses degrade faster, gaskets fail, water pump seals leak. And here's the kicker. It all happens slowly enough that you don't connect the dots. You just think, well, my water pump failed. That's normal, right? A Toyota technician showed me the maintenance schedule they actually recommend in Japan. First coolant change at 100,000 miles or 10 years. After that, every 50,000 miles or 5 years. But, and this is critical, only using the exact coolant formula Toyota engineered the system around. No mixing, no substitutions, no good enough solutions. The fix is simple but requires discipline. Flush your cooling system completely. Fill it with the OEM specified coolant for your vehicle. Then stick to the schedule. Every 50,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. If you tow or drive in extreme conditions, do it sooner. A coolant service costs about $200. A water pump replacement? That's $700 to $200. A head gasket failure from overheating? You're looking at $2,000 or more. This matters for every vehicle. Toyota Camry, Lexus RX, Chevy Silverado, BMW 3 Series, because every manufacturer has specific coolant requirements for good reasons. Now let's talk about a fluid that almost nobody thinks about until it's too late. Secret number 4 reveals a time-based maintenance item that could save your life. Secret number 4, brake fluid. Ages like milk, not wine. I was riding with a Honda technician in Osaka when he suddenly asked me, "When was the last time you changed your brake fluid?" I honestly couldn't remember. He nodded knowingly. That's the problem. Everyone treats brake fluid like it's eternal. It's not. Here's the science. Brake fluid is hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture from the air over time, even in a sealed system. Fresh .3 fluid has a boiling point around 401 degrees, but with just 3% water contamination, which happens naturally over 2 to 3 years, that boiling point drops to 284 degrees. Why does this matter? Because during hard braking or long downhill grades, your brake fluid gets hot, really hot. If the boiling point has dropped due to moisture, the fluid can actually boil, creating vapor bubbles. And vapor compresses. That's how you get soft or spongy brakes when you need them most. But there's another problem most people never think about. That moisture also causes internal corrosion of brake lines, calipers, and especially your ABS module, which can cost $100 to $1,400 to replace. A mechanic in Tokyo showed me corroded ABS internals from a car whose fluid had never been changed in 7 years. It looked like something recovered from the ocean floor. Japanese maintenance schedules, Honda, Toyota, Mazda, all specify time-based brake fluid replacement, typically every 3 years, regardless of mileage. This isn't about miles driven, it's about chemistry and moisture absorption happening whether you drive the car or not. The Japanese approach is to schedule a complete brake fluid flush every 2 to 3 years, even on low-mileage vehicles. Some owners get more technical and test the fluid's moisture content with an inexpensive tester you can buy for under $30. Once moisture exceeds 3% or boiling point drops below 350 degrees Fahrenheit, it's time. A brake fluid flush costs $120 to $180 at an independent shop. An ABS module replacement costs 10 times that. A crash because your brakes failed on a mountain road? Priceless, in the worst possible way. This applies to every vehicle on the road. Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, Lexus ES, BMW 3 Series, Ford F-150. If you're finding this information valuable, hit that like button to help other car owners discover these truths. Secret number 5 might seem obvious, but you'd be shocked how many people get it wrong. Secret sugar 5. Not all spark plugs are created equal. At a Denso manufacturing facility outside Tokyo, an engineer showed me something fascinating. He held up 2 spark plugs, one copper, one iridium. "Which one do you think lasts longer?" he asked. "Obviously the iridium," I answered. "Correct. 5 times longer, in fact. So why do so many people install cheap copper plugs to save money, then change them 4 more times over the life of the car? Good question. The answer is that most people don't understand spark plug technology, and many mechanics don't bother explaining it because they make money on repeated services. Here's what Japanese engineers actually designed for. Modern iridium plugs from NGK and Denso are rated for 80,000 to 120,000 miles in most applications. These aren't optimistic marketing numbers. They're conservative engineering specifications based on electrode wear rates and insulator breakdown. But here's where it gets interesting. Many people do one of 2 things wrong. They either change plugs way too early, wasting money on perfectly good components, or they wait too long, risking misfires that can destroy a catalytic converter. A CAT replacement costs $2,000 or more. Suddenly that $150 spark plug service looks pretty cheap. A Toyota technician explained their approach. "We follow the owner's manual interval exactly. For most modern engines, that's 100,000 miles. We use OE-grade iridium. Plugs, NGK or Denso with our part numbers. And when we do the service, we inspect the ignition coil boots and seals for cracks or oil contamination. Replace everything worn at once. One service, done right." The benefits are immediate. Better engine performance, no misfires triggering check engine lights, and most importantly, your catalytic converter stays protected from raw fuel damage. A proper plug service with OE-grade iridium costs about $150. A catalytic converter replacement, that's $2,000 or more depending on your vehicle. This strategy works across all modern engines, Toyota 2.5L and 3.5L V6, Honda 1.5T and 2.0L GDI, Ford EcoBoost 2.3L, BMW B58 3.0L Turbo. The technology is universal. The only variable is whether you follow the smart approach or keep doing what the quick lube place tells you. Now we're getting into the stuff that most people completely ignore. Secret number 6 tackles a problem that's costing you fuel economy and power right now. Secret number 6, the fuel additive secret that actually works. I'm going to be honest with you, when a mechanic in Nagoya first told me about using fuel additives preventively, I was skeptical. I'd seen the shelves at auto parts stores, dozens of bottles making wild promises. Most of them are snake oil. But then he showed me something interesting. SAE technical papers, actual engineering research, demonstrating that polyethylamine-based additives, known as PEA, significantly outperform every other detergent package at removing and preventing fuel system deposits. We're talking 5 to 10 times more effective than cheaper formulations. Here's why this matters. Modern engines, especially gasoline direct injection engines, accumulate carbon deposits on intake valves and injector tips at alarming rates. Port fuel injection engines have fewer valve deposits but still suffer injector fouling. These deposits rob power, hurt fuel economy, cause rough idle, and lead to expensive cleaning procedures that can cost $300 to $600 or more. The Japanese approach is preventive. Every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, they run a proven PEA-based fuel additive through the system. The 2 formulas repeatedly proven effective in independent testing are Chevron Techron Concentrate Plus and Redline SI1. You pour the bottle into a nearly empty tank, fill with premium fuel, and drive normally. The additives work through the combustion process to clean injectors, valves, and combustion chambers. A Honda owner in Tokyo told me he'd been doing this religiously for 15 years. His 1.5T engine had 180,000 miles and still ran like new. I spend maybe $30 a year on additives. My friend ignored it and just paid $600 for valve cleaning at 90,000 miles. Who's the smart one? This matters especially for modern high-pressure engines. Hyundai and Kia 1.6T and 2.0T TGDI, VW and Audi 2.0T E8888, GM 2.0L and 2.5L GDI, Toyota D4S dual injection systems. These engines are particularly susceptible to carbon buildup, and preventive treatment pays huge dividends. Next up, we're talking about batteries, and secret number 7 is going to make you realize why your battery keeps dying early. Secret number 7. Start-stop batteries aren't optional equipment. A Subaru technician in Tokyo showed me something that made my blood boil. A customer had come in complaining that their third battery in 4 years had just failed. The car was only 5 years old. When the tech looked at the service history, he found the problem immediately. Every replacement battery had been a standard flooded battery, but the car required an enhanced flooded battery, EFB, for its start-stop system. Look, he explained. Start-stop systems cycle the battery hundreds of times per week. A standard battery isn't designed for that. It fails quickly. But here's the worst part. When you don't register the new battery in the system, the charging logic doesn't adapt. So the alternator either overcharges or undercharges, killing the battery even faster. This isn't just a Subaru problem. VW, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, most European vehicles, and many Japanese vehicles with start-stop require either EFB or AGM batteries and mandatory registration. But parts stores often don't mention this because they'd rather sell you a cheaper battery more frequently. It's more profitable. The Japanese approach is methodical. Before buying a replacement battery, they check the OEM specification. They look for an EFB or AGM label on the current battery. They purchase the correct type, never letting a parts store clerk talk them into equivalent conventional batteries. After installation, they perform the battery registration procedure using either a scan tool or the vehicle's dashboard procedure. The difference in longevity is dramatic. A correct EFB or AGM battery in a properly coded system can last 5 to 7 years. An incorrect battery fails in 18 months to 2 years. A correct battery costs around $300. Compare that to an alternator replacement at $500 to $800, or an intelligent battery sensor repair at $1,000 or more. This matters for Subaru Outback and Forester models, VW Golf with start-stop, Ford Escape, and basically any European vehicle with automatic start-stop. Get it wrong and you'll be replacing batteries forever. Get it right and you'll forget the battery even exists. Moving on to something most people actively get wrong. Secret number 8 deals with that squeaky belt noise. Secret number 8. Belt dressing is killing your modern belts. I watched a DIY video once where someone proudly demonstrated spraying belt dressing on a squeaky serpentine belt. The squeaking stopped immediately, and he declared victory. A week later, that same guy was in a shop I was visiting in Osaka, asking why his battery light was on and his engine was overheating. The mechanic didn't even need to look. "You sprayed something on your belt, didn't you?" The guy was shocked. "How did you know?" The answer is that this happens constantly, and it's always the same story. Old school mechanics taught generations of car owners that belt dressing restores grip and stops squeaking. That worked fine on old neoprene belts from the 1970s and 80s. Modern EPDM belts? It's the opposite of what you should do. Here's the problem. EPDM rubber works on a different friction principle than old neoprene. Belt dressing is essentially a friction modifier. It reduces the coefficient of friction. When you spray it on EPDM, you actually make the belt slip more. That causes it to heat up from friction, wear faster, and most importantly, slip on critical accessories like your water pump and alternator. Gates, one of the largest belt manufacturers in the world, explicitly warns against using belt dressings on EPDM serpentine belts. If a modern belt is squealing, it means one of 3 things. The belt is worn and stretched beyond its service limit, a pulley bearing is failing, or the tensioner isn't maintaining proper pressure. The solution is to fix the actual problem, not mask it with chemicals. A Toyota technician summed it up perfectly. When a belt squeaks, we inspect the tensioner, check all pulleys for smooth rotation, and measure belt wear. If the belt is worn, we replace it. If a pulley is bad, we replace that. We never ever spray anything on EPDM belts. That's how you turn a small problem into an engine rebuild from overheating. A serpentine belt replacement with tensioner costs about $150. An engine rebuild from overheating? That's $2,000 or more. This applies to GM LS series truck engines, Ford 5.0L and 5.4L V8s, Toyota 2AR and 2GR engines, BMW N55. Basically every modern engine built in the last 20 years. Secret number 9 is about fluids again, but this time it's one that nobody thinks about. Secret number 9. Power steering fluid isn't universal. During a shop visit in Yokohama, I watched a mechanic refuse a customer's request to just top off the power steering with whatever you've got. The customer was annoyed. Fluid is fluid. What's the big deal? The mechanic remained firm. Your Honda requires Honda PSF. I don't stock it right now. Using ATF or universal fluid will damage your rack seals. Come back tomorrow with the right fluid or wait while I order it. The customer left angry. The shop owner wasn't concerned. He'll be angrier if he has to replace his steering rack in 6 months because someone used the wrong fluid. I'd rather lose a small sale than gain a big repair from my own mistake. Here's what most people don't understand. Power steering systems aren't universal. Honda and Toyota specify dedicated power steering fluids with unique additive packages and viscosity characteristics. These fluids are designed to work with specific seal materials and pump tolerances. Using universal fluid or the wrong ATF type can cause seals to swell or shrink incorrectly, leading to leaks. The pump wears faster because the lubrication properties don't match the design requirements. Honda's service manuals explicitly state, use Honda power steering fluid only. Mixing or substituting other fluids may cause damage not covered under warranty. Toyota has similar specifications. This isn't manufacturer profiteering. These systems were engineered and tested with specific fluid properties in mind. The Japanese approach is simple but strict. Use the exact fluid specified in the owner's manual. Don't assume fluids are interchangeable just because they look similar. When performing power steering fluid changes, typically every 50,000 to 75,000 miles, use only the OEM specified formula. You'll spend $20 to $40 on the correct fluid for a service. Compare that to a steering rack replacement at $900 to $800, or a power steering pump at $400 to $700. This matters for Honda Accord and Civic, Toyota Camry and RAV4, Ford Explorer with hydraulic steering, and BMW 3 Series with specific ZF rack requirements. Subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more money-saving automotive insights. Secret number 10 deals with something you probably think is maintenance-free. Spoiler, it's not. Secret. Janko 10. Timing chains aren't actually lifetime. I met a Toyota owner in Nagoya whose 2GR V6 had just hit 250,000 miles. Original timing chain, original guides, original tensioner. When I asked his secret, he pulled out a logbook. Every single oil change for the life of the vehicle documented. Full synthetic every 5,000 miles. No exceptions. No just this once intervals stretching to 8,000 or 10,000 miles. The dealer told me timing chains are lifetime, he said. But lifetime means different things depending on how you treat them. If you want the chain to outlive the car, you maintain proper oil quality and intervals. If you don't care, it'll last maybe 120,000 miles before the guides wear out and you need a $1,500 repair. Here's the engineering reality. Timing chains are designed as lifetime components, but that assumes perfect conditions: clean oil, proper viscosity, regular changes. When oil degrades or sludge accumulates, chain stretch accelerates dramatically. The guides, made of plastic or composite materials, wear faster when lubrication isn't optimal. The tensioner struggles to compensate. Eventually, timing jumps or components fail catastrophically. Japanese engines like Toyota's 2GR V6 and Nissan's VQ series show this pattern clearly. Engines maintained on strict 5,000-mile synthetic intervals reach 200,000 plus miles with original timing components. Engines stretched to 10,000 plus miles on conventional oil often need chain replacement before 120,000 miles. The correlation between oil maintenance and timing chain life is undeniable. Oil analysis forums tracking vehicles long-term confirm this. One Toyota forum tracks GR86 owners' maintenance habits against timing chain noise and wear. The pattern is consistent: proper oil. Maintenance equals long chain life. Neglect equals early failure. The solution ties back to secret number 1. Use the correct oil specification, monitor oil condition, and don't push intervals beyond what your oil can handle. At higher mileage, inspect timing chain slack and listen for rattling on cold starts. If you hear chain noise, especially a rattle that disappears after a few seconds, that's chain stretch or tensioner wear. Address it before catastrophic failure. A timing chain set with tensioner and guides costs about $1,000 installed. A complete engine rebuild after chain failure, that's $5,000 or more. This applies to Toyota 2GR FEV6 in Camrys and Highlanders, Nissan VQ35 and VQ37 V6 engines, Hyundai and Kia Lambda 3.8L V6 and VW 3.6L FSI VR6. Secret number 11 is about being proactive instead of reactive. It saved countless Japanese car owners from roadside disasters. Thikun, secret number 11. Hoses and thermostats don't last forever. A tow truck driver in Tokyo told me an interesting statistic. In Japan, I rarely tow cars for overheating, maybe once a month. When I worked in California before moving here, multiple times per week. The difference, he explained, wasn't the climate or the cars. It was maintenance philosophy. In most countries, the approach to cooling system hoses and thermostats is reactive. If it's not leaking, don't fix it. In Japan, the approach is preventive. Around 100,000 miles, they inspect all rubber coolant hoses carefully and replace aging components even without visible problems. Why? Because rubber degrades from heat cycles over time. A hose that looks perfect externally can be deteriorating internally, with micro cracks forming in the rubber compound. One hot day, one pressure surge, and that micro crack becomes a full rupture. You're stranded on the side of the road watching coolant pool under your car, hoping the engine didn't warp from sudden overheating. Thermostats are similar. They don't always fail completely open or closed. Sometimes they stick partially, causing subtle temperature fluctuations that damage the engine gradually. You might not even notice until something else fails. A Toyota service manager explained, "We replace thermostats and inspect hoses at 100,000 miles as preventive maintenance. It's a $250 service that prevents a $2,000 head gasket job or worse." The Japanese approach combines this with secret number 3's coolant replacement. Around 100,000 miles, they do a complete cooling system refresh. Flush old coolant, install fresh OEM coolant, replace the thermostat, and replace any hoses showing age. It's comprehensive, preventive, and relatively inexpensive. A thermostat and hose job costs about $250. An overheated engine with warped heads or blown head gaskets. That's $2,000 or more, possibly requiring complete engine replacement. This applies to Toyota RAV4 with 2.4L or 2.5L engines, Subaru FB and FA engines, notorious for head gasket issues, Chevy Colorado 2.8L diesel, and Ford Escape 3.0L V6. Last one, secret number 12. This is the maintenance category most people completely ignore until something expensive breaks. Maur, secret number 12. Software and coding are part of maintenance. Now, at a Subaru dealership in Tokyo, I watched a technician spend 20 minutes on a computer after installing a new battery. When I asked what he was doing, he explained, "I'm registering the new battery in the system. If I don't, the charging logic won't adapt. The alternator will use the old battery's parameters, either overcharging or undercharging the new one. It'll fail in 18 months instead of 5 years." This is the maintenance category that barely existed 15 years ago but is critical now. Modern vehicles use software to manage everything. Battery charging, transmission shift patterns, hybrid system operation, even throttle response. When you replace major components, the vehicle's computer needs to know about it. Skip this step and you get incorrect operating logic, premature component wear, diagnostic trouble codes, and early failures of expensive parts. The Subaru Battery Bulletin makes this explicit. Battery chemistry and vehicle charging logic must match, and the system must be informed when a new battery is installed. BMW, VW, Audi, Mercedes, they all have similar requirements buried in service procedures that many independent shops don't know about or ignore. A Honda technician told me about a customer who replaced a transmission control module himself using a junkyard part. The physical installation was perfect, but the module wasn't coded to his specific vehicle. The transmission shifted poorly, through codes, and eventually damaged itself from incorrect shift pressures. The cost to fix his DIY repair, more than just paying a shop to do it right the first time. The Japanese approach is strict. Confirm that software updates and module registration are completed when replacing major electrical components. Use correct OEM or OEM equivalent parts that match the vehicle's software expectations. When service is performed at independent shops, verify they have the equipment and knowledge to perform necessary coding. A proper software update or registration typically costs $100 to $200 when performed alongside component replacement. Replacing a prematurely failed module that wasn't properly coded, that's $800 to $500 or more depending on the component. This applies to Subaru Outback and Forester with start-stop VW and Audi MQB platforms, Toyota Prius and hybrid models, and Ford Escape with turbo engines. 12 secrets, some technical, some philosophical, all proven to extend vehicle life well past 300,000 miles. The common thread? The Japanese don't wait for failures. They anticipate them through intelligent maintenance based on data, not marketing. They use oil analysis instead of arbitrary intervals. They change lifetime fluids that aren't actually lifetime. They use correct coolant chemistry and change brake fluid by time. They install proper spark plugs at proper intervals. They prevent fuel system deposits with proven additives. They install correct batteries and code them properly. They don't spray chemicals on modern belts. They use manufacturer-specified power steering fluids. They maintain timing chains through oil quality. They replace hoses and thermostats preventively. And they understand that software maintenance is now as important as mechanical maintenance. These aren't gimmicks. These are engineering-based practices that work whether you drive a Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chevy, BMW, or Hyundai. The question isn't whether these methods work. The question is whether you're willing to change your approach to car care. Hit like if you found this breakdown useful and subscribe to the channel now. I'll continue to guide you through the real facts of car maintenance, saving you thousands. Next video. Transmission flush myths busted. What your dealer didn't tell you about fluid exchanges. Until then, drive smart, maintain strong, and keep your car running for the long haul.